and they continue to put pressure down below. So for FaZe, active here early, accounting for nearly all the kills in the lobby. There were 3. And they're going to continue to hold this ridge from the looks of it. So if you're FaZe, you're in the zone, you're relatively near center, and you've got a couple of kills. So what's the strategy here?
Just keep doing what you're doing. It's about waiting. The game is obviously right now just waiting for the second circle, and they've already got a number of kills. They're outputting pressure. They're controlling their space. This is a perfect early game for them. They're keeping everyone alive. It looks like they have a good number of resources to utilize as well. Jet continuing to do the same thing for his
Never
team.
stop shooting.
Never stop shooting. He's going to run out of ammo eventually, but he has a good amount that this isn't the worst use of it in the early game. Hopefully later on in the game, the rest of his teammates will be able to join up and trade some because he's done so much work with
NBS
the resources that he's
maybe
had.
wants this crate.
Ooh, Noah got a kill on Alika, so that's going to be Secret intertangled with 4 AM.
The very rare team secret kill coming in. And now that crate was landing nearby to NBS. Speaking of 4 AM and Secret, joining them here now. 4 AM actually skirting around the bottom side of Chumacera's ridge and away from the watchful eyes of Team Secret. Having to share the loot box between them gives you an idea as to how those games have been going.
This does
still FaZe is chilling up here.
Yeah, I mean, that does still slow down the rotation timings of Secret. So it was actually what I feared of them arriving at Chumacera at 4 minutes into the game, coming in from the south when it's the southern plane. I don't exactly know what happened to the rotation then, but that was a loss of timing already. And so they're only now just coming in. Sure, they got a kill. Sure, they got a loot off of that. But this means they're going to be coming in super duper late on the edge. And so they get hard shifted against. It's going to be another rough game for them. Nip, they are in a peculiar position, a little bit spread out. I don't know if this is on purpose or due to the fact of the pressure put out by Divine sort of forced them into this position.
Vard is getting harassed by Atletico, so I don't think he's too mobile right now. NBS, I think they're just kind of, Nip's strategy is just to kind of hold this little triangle position. They're doing a 2-1-1, which is a little bit frightening if you think about it. Vard, I think, might be trapped by Atletico.
Yeah.
And can't move too much, so not sure what the story is there. Vitality, also in the center of the zone. OMG, XXB, the last man standing, is just going to be snaking it up, but he does have the center zone. I imagine this thing is going to shift a little bit south. Ghost opting for that far northern route. There's so many parts of this map that I've never been to.
Yeah.
I mean, like where Ghost is right now, I've never been there. Never once. I don't know what's up there. I know the Oasis is there. Na'Vi is actually coming the same way. Frolicker way out in the blue, maybe taking some extra time to get into the zone. Interesting to see how Ghost has rotated here as we see another shift headed to the southwest.
Yeah, it's a hard shift away. I was about to say this isn't a bad move by Ghost. There's nothing up there, which means that there's not going to be too much contest there from other squads. They can enter in easily. They're coming in late because they're making a wide rotation around Impala 1 to be super looted up.
Clutch probably crashed out.
That's possibly why. But this hard shift against them kind of unfortunately goes against what Ghosts were hoping for. They could still make a long rotation around. Very few teams are on the western side of center, and so there's still a lot of open space, which is good for both M19 as well as Secret. But NIP, they got the push in here as well. The pressure did lessen because of the circle shift, and a lot of squads, including FaZe, you can see ahead of them, are trying to rotate in first before they continue their output of pressure.
So I wonder what happens here. FaZe already on the move, so is NIP. Unlikely that they would both put the brakes on and stop in battle here. Cabrera in the zone. Technically, both teams would be safe from the blue if they do decide to stop. Looks like NIP does want to maybe start putting pressure onto the rotating FaZe, but maybe just not quite enough time. So NIP just kind of putting the brakes on here for a minute.
Mixie.
Not sure if that's their. Yeah, Mixie might get caught.
That's a yikes.
Ripperoonie, Mixie. So maybe that was by design, or maybe a little bit of bad luck there by Mixie, but he will get caught by Vard, or excuse me, Nip, and be eliminated as Vard looking to finish off a little bit of loot there. Try to pick up as much as he can.
This is a curious position.
Noah's
by Nip.
down to the zone.
All right. I think he's going to get revived, maybe.
I mean,
anyway, let's go back to that later. This is an interesting position.
I don't know, dude. Secret did rotate through the blue, and they are going for the res. Maybe he crashed his vehicle, but what are you doing? What's going on with Team Secret?
I don't know. It's
no, he's still in the game. That was just all right.
Either way, they're coming in late. This isn't uncommon for them. They usually like to spend a lot of the early game looting up, whether that's by design or just by slow timings. Has yet to be seen, but they're used to coming in late. But unfortunately, that also means that they kind of lose priority, and a style like that can work. We used to see Na'Vi back in the day flourish, back when, even before they were Na'Vi, when they were Groovy, flourish on that play style because they had the firepower to just bulldoze through anyone in their way. That was also punishing of the current meta where fights weren't as common.
M19 has spotted Secret, who already struggled to stay alive without anyone looking at them. And Noah still at half health. M19 not opting to go super aggro. Here's all four. They have everyone accounted for now. The zone has done a lot of the damage, but M19 not willing to engage just yet. But this is Noah in the open. Now's the time. The shots come out from the Wanderer, who does his absolute best to hit some of those shots, only a couple landing, and immediately retreat as they start throwing grenades in defense. M19 not one to get into fights early like this, but they have an opportunity. I'm not sure if they're aware of who's below them, so they're maybe concerned about a flank.
Either way, they're playing very conservative.
Yeah, I mean, they have the high ground advantage and everything.
They're in the circle. They have the high ground advantage, can easily overlook these guys and just keep them pinned down in these buildings. They don't need to move in. Sure, they're on the edge, but it doesn't look like they're backing away in order to get into the circle. They wanted to perhaps get an initial knock.
They're just leaving.
Using the yeah, okay. I guess they do. They would rather get into the circle, I suppose, but either way, that just, to me, that reads, and this could be wrong, M19 can tell me if I've misled on this, but it reads as just the don't want to fight and really nervous on fighting anyone early on, even if you have a huge advantage. But by sacrificing that, they are going to be able to get into the circle. There are positions in front of them, as you can see, that they can grab that are closer to the center.
It's 20 points to kill, Cameron. I mean, those are that's if you're M19 or anyone, literally anyone in the lobby who's got a lick of sense, you take the kills where you can get them. And with, I mean, these guys arriving from the blue, you have to know that's a nice shot by Ovo there. And is that a prone? Nice prone. I like it. So Levy's hits the prone, but you know, they had everyone accounted for. They're driving in from the blue. You have to know that they have some damage, or at least are slightly weakened. But regardless, it's going to be Balak taking shots at Na'Vi in transition across the road. And it's going to be hard for him to avoid all that shot, and he will get taken down. Frolicker will finish him off. Meanwhile, FaZe is getting into it with Liquid elsewhere.
So this goes
as Balak gets a kill. Here's Extreme pushing on the ridgeline. Sadovnik trying to defend himself, and he will do so very well as he takes down Extreme. And M19 has decided they do want to kill Secret. They've gone after it.
I think Secret actually pushing in M19 is the thing. So that move did that move did end up working very well, actually.
Getting completely destroyed.
Those 80 points did work very well because the next circle we can show on the minimap did swing on towards the left, and so M19 actually avoided that fight going center. Did work out for them in the end. I'm still going to maintain my position that it showed some
fair enough
uncomfortableness.
At the end of the day,
fair enough.
M19 wiped Secret.
Yeah, but this Ghost Na'Vi drama, that's kind of been building up for a while because they rotated around each other. And Na'Vi, they were able to divert two of their members, Bachelin and the other fourth main player, onto the left side, able to avoid all this drama because of a hardship down to the southwest and then a hardship towards the west. Does mean that most teams are going to have to rotate in straight in from the east, and that is happening exactly right here where C9 are pushing into Snake. And C9, they are going to push this with every fiber of their being because that has been the game plan for them every single round.
Go on.
I mean,
so C9 on the low side, waiting to see if they can find a seam here. Snake above, rotating around, looking to find a line of sight. The nades coming down. This is a difficult throw for them, however, having that ridge line to work with. Snake TC, two in the back, two in the front. K-Mine and Profi in a similar position. But now it's just a matter of who's going to get that initial down. Snake does not have a lot of vision to work with. More interested is Buganau protecting that flank on the ridge line. He could actually push down this thing and try and get a line of sight onto K-Mine, but for now it's just managing to make sure no one's going to get that flank. Liquid being active in the lobby, continuing to land shots as Snake TC does take a lot of damage as Booga now, and Nerf will actually take some shots in the back line as well, and the initial down will go to Snake as Nerf gets downed. Let's see if they can get around the bottom side here. Profi looking to set something up, but he slides down the hill. Profi, instead of playing defensively, has gone a little bit of aggro here as they will lose Nerf to Ghost. Ooh. And just like that, Ghost is now flanking. Profi has committed to this flank on his own right, but is losing teammates in the back line as both Moody and Nerf are finished off by Ghost Gaming. So now C9 in a full pinch. K-Mine will get a down as well, so now Profi's going to leap up and try and get one of his own. He misses his initial spray, finishes one. Now Snake TC is in full defense, backing away from this fight. Here comes the nade. Not quite cooked well enough. Here comes another finish from Booga. So Snake has lost 2. C9 has lost 2. And Profi continues to be aggressive. And meanwhile, McCoy in the long shot will set up a kill for Profi to steal. ZKK going down, so Ghost playing a factor at long distance, forcing Atletico far into the blue as XXB somehow is now in the north outside the zone. How did he get there? He was in the middle of the zone a little while ago.
Crater Fields is a very difficult position to rotate around, and so instead of having to go through the choke points that it creates and go through other teams, that's exactly how Divine actually got taken out of this lobby, is because of they drove into Liquid. He's going to go all the way up and around, but this late into the game, it can start to really punish you. Look, the blue already just took down Neferhor from Atletico. But here's Nip. They're going to have to be pushing through on the western side. They're going to have to go through Liquid now with this next circle. It's not a hard shift. It's still like a medium to strong shift, but still onto the west. And so the pressure is consistently stacking up on this eastern side because the circle tries to remove as much of that direction as it can each and every time. Ghost going to be pushing down from the north. Still 4 strong. It looks a little not sloppy, but it looked a little discombobulated for them at the very beginning, but they've been able to get it all back together, get everything working, get inside the circle, get a little more comfortable, and let's see if they can't finally turn on the engine for their team.
Na'Vi engaging now with the encroaching Vitality Monkey arriving in a Murado. Here comes a long distance nade, quickly ducks back. If you ever wondered why players do that when they duck and turn their heads, it's to avoid headshots. So if you're an aspiring pro, don't expose that head, turn away from your enemy and duck that head down. It makes it harder to hit you in the head. So just a little tip for you. Shade stuck in the forward position. Battling and the rest of the squad a little bit behind. They are getting pressure from M19 to the north, but they are primarily interested in Vitality. They know they're there. Shade with the SKS. Ooh, takes one off the noggin. And Vitality is not going to allow these peaks to go unpunished. Meanwhile, Ibiza and Liquid, staying very active in this lobby, have found NIP.
NIP found them. Liquid tried to push closer to the center, but by doing so, they gave up the compound, albeit a compound on the edge, so its worth has been slowly diminished over these next few circles. But if NIP get a couple of angles onto Liquid, it could end up spelling their demise. But at least for now, Liquid able to
They're just trying to get away. Yeah, they're using they got the smokes down. They want to get away. We did see C9 go down and finished off by the combination of VG and Ghost. So Cloud9 going down in 13th place off the back of a very hard pinch for them. Jeems actually getting found by 4 AM. They must have a very tough line of sight here as Liquid is just getting picked apart slowly from all angles. Bottling and Shade still trying to deal with Vitality, who's held out of the zone, but they are spread out and have Na'Vi at their tips of their fingers here. There's some more sight coming to Bottling, but again, Na'Vi not willing to jump up and engage. There's just not enough time and space for them to do so. Vitality has them rubbed out here. Nothing to do. So Shade is down. And this is looking like elimination for Na'Vi, who's got Vitality spread out in front of them, and there's just no angles to manage. Bottling takes one shot. Someone else will get him. Elsewhere, M19 putting the tax to Ghost. We'll see if Bottling can survive.
M19 right now in a really strong spot, and they're spread out, taking shots at everyone and
harassing him. Yeah, Bottling can't move at all. They've got him hemmed in.
They're harassing everyone, though. They got a knock onto Ghost just previously, and so they're using this position, trying to grab as much damage as they can, because sure, it's not direct points, but it's only going to lead into future points with placements and or potential kills. And so they're ended up in a position with the circle landing on them, and they are utilizing every single advantage that it gives them. Vitality, they still have 4 up, I believe. If this is not, this is 3, but still 3 up. They can push in towards Na'Vi. Where's this next circle going to go?
4M's on the south, so we'll see another shift here shortly. And we're going to be headed more to that northwestern side. So it's technically a hard shift, but M19, the benefactor there, they've got the hard cover, the high and the low ground. And now they have to decide, do we want to hold this split or do we want to kind of come together, as that entire eastern side of the play zone is going to be a total mess. Most of the teams are there. Vitality, if they can get through the last member of Na'Vi without taking too many casualties from the entrenched M19, have a path. But here now on the eastern side, we have the Knights, NIP, 4AM, and Liquid all jumbled together. And this is looking like it's going to be a power struggle between the Knights and NIP as Liquid is trying to slink away. FaZe getting harassed from long distance. It's going to be Mista taking down HCN. Knights getting the finish as NIP now gets into it with the Knights. So that's where the action is happening. And it looks like it's going to NIP out of the gate as Voxic has to back away. Texas finished off. Still 4 strong for NIP, looking very good here on the high ground. They've now rattled the cages of the Knights, who are trying to get away, and meanwhile, it's Liquid getting harassed again by M19, the ever-present Na'Vi eliminated in 12th place, so that's Botlin finally being finished off, and now we'll see if Vitality can make their way into the zone. M19 has a terrific spot. Vitality, a little bit left to be desired here, Cameron. How do they take this, do you think?
They just have to hit these shots in M19, force M19 to duck back behind cover and to get those revives. Otherwise, hope that you have a lot of smokes in your backpack.
Yeah,
those are really the only 2 ways to break in. They can continue to push up north, hope that the terrain blocks a lot of it. But look, Knights, they ran from NIP and ran directly into VG.
I think they have the upper hand here. It's still kind of a 2v2. They do have 1 down, but Ghost is getting involved as well. And that's a quick down from McCoy. That SLR has been playing a factor this entire game. 7 total kills for Ghost. This is the game they need to have. More shots in return. NIP, I think, actually stole one of those kills from Ghost, so they're doing their best, but OMG, look who it is. It's XXB, the man who was almost eliminated first, now stealing kills here in the mid-game from long distance as McCoy, surprised by the long arm of the sniping from XXB. The smokes do go down. McCoy not finished off yet, but Extreme 2G is taking damage as well. VG's got the trench, and they've also got the res underway. So Jempty, the last man standing from FaZe, is trying to deal with this. As Vard is trying to go for that Kobe grenade, trying to flush out the remaining Drade, and that nade landed close, and that will finish off the Knights. Nice grenade from Miracu as NIP does clear them out, and they have a lot of time and space to work with. VG is still there. I think they might get vision to them if NIP continues on the path they've made for themselves. Meanwhile, Ghost is on the other side with Jempty still playing the snake. He's just trying to play for position here. FaZe yet to finish outside the top 10, at least through the first 7 games. So for FaZe, they're trying to hold on to that streak right now as VG is going to have to deal with the encroaching NIP. M19 still playing the open position, and Mista finishing off Summer. Miracu and the rest of NIP now with 5 total kills. M19 harassing from distance. They're doing their best, but they have to keep close tabs on that southern side. Vitality still trying to make the zone.
This is a good job at M19. They had a good position with that split earlier on, but when you're in a split position in the center, which they ended up being close to, the question is always, can they handle being overwhelmed? And so instead of running the risk of having one of their splits overwhelmed, they all got together as 4. They gave Liquid a position.
Strong. NIP is going strong here. They've got Bite Me Down and Morningstar down and finished. And just like that, there's 1 left, and the M249 starts to ring. But they're getting pressure from distance. I believe that's Ghost still putting shots onto their position. So VG not quite eliminated yet. But looks like NIP did lose 1 in that engagement. So that's 1 down for NIP from distance. Half health for all of them as they're doing their best to stave off, or at least is VG, total elimination, but it's not looking good. More nades start to come their way. That 249. Ghost is actually destroying NIP from distance. I mean, they're getting shot one after another. They know that VG is right down in front of them, but every time they poke, they have Ghost from long distance taking shots at them. So Vitality will eventually succumb to M19 on the southern portion of the zone. I guess that utility deployment not going in their way. So the res does come out. At least I would expect the res to come out. M19 is, or excuse me, NIP just needs to finish off VG, and they will find him. That harassment from Ghost was just a little bit too much. They lost one on the way there, but a lot of attrition happening as well, losing armor, helmets, etc., meds as 4AM goes down, and very quickly we're down to 7.
Yeah, Ghosts have done a very good job in this northern position to continue to have a hold on the control of their area. It wasn't the most confident entrance into this game, essentially. But once they finally arrived, they've done a good job of dealing with the hardships. Oh, okay, that's
Samty! Damn it, dude!
Oh no, and now they're getting punished. Actually, it's ninjas, I think, at range trying to shoot at them. If they miss, they can crawl back inside and get a revive.
I know that feeling, dude. It's just
yikes.
like, I didn't even see you, man. Oh, no, and NIP gets surprised by M19, and they quickly lose 2. They were going for the aggressive push onto Liquid, and just like that, M19 punishes very hard. The vehicle explosion goes up, and Mista will come up as well, as vehicles playing a factor here. And GIŊI now has a potential to take down NBS. He's the last man standing. He wants it. He can see the shoulder. NBS going for the med. He has to wonder, was that NIP? How many do they have left? Has GIÄNTI been paying attention? Is he doing his mental math? NBS might lose it, and it's going to be Ghost picking up the final kill. So GIÄNTI will have a floppy body land nearby, but will continue into the top 5. And now it's going to be Ghost coming across the ridge. GIÄNTI still inspecting his surroundings, making sure those single blades of grass are all the company he needs. Example, and the rest of M19 still the watchful eye on Samty, repositioning the vehicle and wiping Mista's blood off the front of it.
So M19, they are now essentially forced out of the circle. I think there may be a small edge of the fence inside this next circle, but they need to land those shots because outside is open area. The same problem is there for Ghost, Liquid, and then I guess GIÄNTI, even though he's inside, I'll be on the edge. Liquid, though, they're making a bomb straight up in the location.
Wow.
Extreme, good job tapping that player down. Mista.
Last man standing. Extreme saw him. GIÄNTI's right between the two. Example, again, M19 is just picking up kill after kill here. And GIÄNTI will like, you know what, I guess I'll get involved here. He takes down 1, maybe looking for a quick finish here. He doesn't have any support. GIÄNTI wants to finish this right away. That's 20 points in the bag. So not only has FaZe managed to survive this long, but now GIÄNTI's in a position to go 2v1 against Ghost. Frolic and McCoy, the last 2 standing. No support anywhere near Extreme whatsoever. The nades do land. I think that's coming from McCoy, who's probing, trying to see if he can get anything going. But for GIÄNTI and the rest of FaZe, this is a nice turnaround, and very classic FaZe at that, but this is looking like M19's lobby.
It is, and I was worried for M19 previously, but the distraction by GIÄNTI as well as Liquid meant that Ghost had to turn all their attention southward, which gave M19 an opportunity to push forward and grab these rocks. The next circle is likely going to shift off of them again, and so if Ghost, even though they only have 2 remaining, if they can flush out FaZe, they can still punish M19. We know they're good shots.
Where are you going?
Straight in, wants to get a center position and
I
surround
understand,
GIÄNTI.
but that's just too much driving in the late game, and McCoy is punished. And that's a free kill going to M19. McCoy, I'm not sure what the game plan was there, but you maybe lost track of the fact that M19's been firing from this position the entire game. So now for Frolicer, it's a 4v1v1. If he can take out GIÄNTI, he can get second place. But for GIÄNTI, he's got the rock cover and he's got the zone. So now it's a matter of who will fall prey to M19 first, because it's looking like, short of a disaster, that they should be able to secure this lobby. So for GIÄNTI, he doesn't have to move too much. Frolicer has the zone. M19 is going to lose that compound they've exploited to such great extent. And we'll see if GIÄNTI can get something going. He's got that AWM from somewhere. He must have picked that up from Extreme. I'm not sure if he had that the entire game. Oh, baby! As GIÄNTI takes another shot and takes down Example. If there's one guy that can do it, he's got the tools, he's got the gear. He can at least do some damage to M19, and he's getting aggressive. He knows that this lobby is all but solved, and he knows there's 4 players in front of him at least. Well, I should say 5 in front of him at least to a victory, as GIÄNTI now moves a little bit further into the zone. He's not going to get the kill confirm, as Example will be finished, rezzed in the back line before being finished, as the Wanderer completes that res. So now the smokes are down for M19, and that's a shot to the confidence, Cameron. You get that AWM to the face, you have to wonder, is it 2 left for FaZe? Frolicer without the vest, without the backpack, going full snake. And the GIÄNTI, I think, in a little bit better of a position here.
Lead player is going to bomb up. it's a center spot,
He's
very
going right
risky
at him.
maneuver, but they have the players to utilize this resource.
They're trying to spread out on GIŊI. They don't want him
Yep.
to get any maneuverability. GIÄMTI now shooting at elite player. And Froliker's not going to assist in any way. He heard the vehicle come by. He wants to see that finish come on to GIÄMTI. And it looks like it's going to be elite player or someone from M19 going for it. The med now starting for GIÄMTI, but he will be finished off before that. And here comes Froliker, seeing his opening, but not getting anything for it, as M19 steals game number 2 on today. That is a nice play there through that mid game. M19 securing a victory here and a lot of kills as well. So a nice play by GIÄMTI to get that second place, but Cameron